Sorting data. There has to be a way to reorganize the order and or the sequence in which information is pulled from an Oracle database. And you use something called the order by clause, which you've seen me use on occasion so far in this course. Once or twice, here and there. And the order by clause is actually very simple. So here we can see we've got a select clause, and here we've got a from clause. And something interesting you can see here is the way I'm drawing these syntax diagrams, which incidentally are almost the same as they are in the Oracle manuals, which makes it less confusing. This is optional. The square brackets means I don't have to put the where clause in. The square brackets down here means I don't have to put the order by clause in, namely this square bracket here and this square bracket here. You can have a select statement with a from clause. Both of these are required. You can't not retrieve anything and not retrieve anything from anything. Got to have select and from. Where is optional, order by is optional. You don't have to have where, you can have order by, and so on and so forth. What does order by do? It says go and select stuff and order it by a column, which is the name of a column in the select list, or an expression, which is a calculation, a function, any expression you can think of. Or you can use a position, which is a position number of a column in the select list. So if you have column 1, column 2, column 3, these are the column names. This is position 3, this is position 2, this is position 1. That's pretty simple. You can also adapt the way that the where clause behaves and the way that individual columns are sorted using ASC for ascending, DESC for descending, nulls, first, last, so on and so forth. We'll show you the details of that shortly. That's the syntax. I'm going to go back into the documentation, go into the master book list, and show you exactly where to find the Oracle syntax for the order by clause. I'm going into the SQL language reference, difficult to see across there. Let's search for select again. Let's go back into select. Let's scroll down to here, and as you can see, the order by clause is always applied last in a basic query, subquery. All sorts of other things go before it. Remember, we had a query with multiple queries and they were joined together, and the results of each query were merged together with a union clause. So you had 3 queries and 2 union statements, and then the order by clause at the end of the last query, always at the end. Just remember that. The reason why is because you pull the data from the database and then you sort it. It's a very critical difference between the where clause and the order by clause. So there's a very critical difference between the where clause and the order by clause. The where clause removes data from the query, doesn't pull it across the network, reduces the I/O. The order by clause takes that stuff that you've done and resorts it. It does the resorting on the server itself, but it doesn't actually try to sort data that the where clause didn't select. So if your where clause went in and pulled 5 rows out of 5 million, the order by clause will then sort 5 rows, not 5 million. So let's go and find the order by clause, and we click this link here, and it says order by, don't worry about siblings, order by expression, position, C alias, which means actually a column alias. So we could go and adjust our simple syntax diagram. What it means is that you can actually use an alias in here. Alias dot, but it's optional. You don't have to. If the alias is not defined for the table in the from clause, you don't use the alias. So that is basic syntax for the Oracle SQL select statement order by clause.